Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know to run a successful wedding videography business. So when you start as a creative, a lot of times it's all about self-exploration, right? And you're kind of learning about yourself, and there's a lot of emphasis on exploring yourself and really self-expression. But there's a real shift that happens, and maybe not a shift, but an additive, when you go, I'm gonna start a business, right? So you're doing videos, and I think this stuff counts for photographers as well. You're shooting photos, you're doing something creative, and then you're like, I could get paid for this. Like I do a good job. Like I like doing this. I want to only do this. I want this to be my job, right? And so at that point, you're a business person. So you started out, and like I see this tension in people, right? They go like, I want to be true to myself, but like, I'm not going to change who I am to make money. And I'm always like, what are you talking about? You're running a business. If you're not making money, then you just have a hobby. Like, who knows? Maybe you're even making fine art. That's fine. But like, we're talking about business stuff, and I want to do this full time, by the way. And so if you're going to do that, you got to know some stuff. And so today we're going to talk about 5 things. By the way, these are things I wish someone told me when we started out. 5 things you need to know to run a successful wedding videography business. All right, so let's get into it. The first thing you need to know to run a successful wedding videography business is you got to know your business plan. You got to actually have like a document like that you can hold up and say, this is what I'm gonna do to make money. And so a business plan is pretty simple. It's just a document you make that outlines your strategic goals, where you wanna be. It could be something like, I wanna run a wedding video business that makes $150,000 a year shooting 25 weddings. And this is how I'm gonna do it. If you wanna get really detailed, which I always encourage, talking about profits and how much you wanna be spending, and just things like that. But what's really most important is it gives you something to shoot for. And there's a lot of resources. I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert in writing a business plan, but there's a lot of resources online, a lot of great things you can learn. Here's what I will tell you. Plant big seeds with your business plan. Don't just put a bunch of crappy seeds in there. And like if you did 8 weddings last year and maybe you're like, I never did a business plan. I'm going to do a new one. I'm going to get one started. And you do a business plan and you say, I want to grow this year. I want to do 10 weddings. Think a little bigger, guys. Think about where you really want to be, because a business plan, you're not going to always realize it, and probably won't. I think if you wrote a business plan that you can do in 1 year, it's not ambitious enough. Plant big seeds. Water your seeds with your work. Plant big seeds in your business plan. Water them with your efforts and your work. And then I promise you, like the tree that you'll grow with your business will be something that actually is healthy and something you're proud of. So I really want to encourage you, be realistic about it. Of course, don't say I want to be a $10 million wedding video business. Like no one's ever had that. Look at your market, pick some people you want to emulate, and but be ambitious and have big goals. And don't be a person that's just limiting yourself and being negative. Really, I encourage you guys, shoot for the sky when it comes to your business plan. And then it will force you to be disciplined and actually put your goals first instead of just your feelings and things like that. So know your business plan. You got to know your product. You got to know what you want to make. And this is like pretty basic. Do I want to be making 5-minute recap videos? Do I want to be making kind of 20-minute mini documentaries? Do I want to focus on, 8mm film? Who knows? But know what you want to make, right? And know what your style is. Know what you're comfortable making. Know what you're really good at. And then decide, this is what I'm going to make. And I can tell you, this is ever evolving. When we started out, we wanted to make a certain product that we thought was cool, and we quickly found out no one wanted to buy what we wanted to make. And so it doesn't mean that whatever you decide about your product is what you're going to always be. You're not locked into that, but know what you're trying to make, especially in a given season. And I do want to encourage you, this is just my opinion, I don't recommend making a bunch of in-season changes to your product. When you're in the middle of it, it's really hard to think. But I do recommend analyzing it every single off season and making tweaks and setting out to do it. So know your product. You got to know exactly what it is you're trying to make and not have any gray area. And a lot of people do. A lot of people are not certain exactly what they're doing. In fact, a lot of people ask a couple, oh, what do you want? And they go I just make what the couples want. And I'm like, no, You gotta know your product better than the couple. And like, you gotta be very, very firm because you're running a business and your business is dependent on producing a lot of the same stuff all the time. So know your product. You gotta know your process. You gotta know what it takes to make your product. Now that you know what you wanna make, you gotta know what it takes. How much time does it take to sell it? How much time does it take to shoot it? How much time does it take to edit it? How long does it take you to even get your couple their product? How much money does it cost? Because ultimately, you're running a business and all of this is, you've heard this before, by the way, it's not a new thought. Time is money. Understand that you're basically paying yourself an hourly rate. I talked to a shooter a couple years ago. She was asking me advice. She's doing photography. And she went out on the field. She shot this couple, right? And then she shot twice as long as she told them that she was going to shoot for their engagement shoot and edited their shoot for 8 hours. So she went, drove an hour away, shot an hour extra. She spent 11 hours on an engagement shoot that she charged someone $200 for. And I was like, is that how much money you want to make per hour? And she's like, I don't know. Hadn't put any thought into it. And like, ultimately, I'm like, are you doing that a lot? And she's like, oh yeah, basically like she has no set process and she'll spend any number of time or any amount of time on anything. And at the end of the day, like that's costing her money. And I told her that. I was like, you're paying yourself basically minimum wage to shoot this stuff. I just want to encourage you to do something with when it comes to your process. Give yourself an hourly rate, and that should be coming from how much you're charging divided by how much it takes you to make it from shooting to selling. I mean, add that in there too. To editing, whatever it is. And then, make sure you're subtracting your cost, like your products and things like that, like your gear and all that junk. But and then go how much am I making per hour? I think a lot of you guys will be really surprised that you're only making like 25 bucks an hour to do something. Try to find a way to make it less. The more you can save, the more you can make. Be efficient. It's costing you money. Know your process. The next thing is you want to know your market. And what is your market made up of? It's made up of your prospective couples, your marketing opportunities, and your complementary vendors. When it comes to your couples, you need to know how much they're spending. You need to know the types of products they buy. And actually, are they interested in, who knows, like a boho video or glam? Do they want short videos, long videos, super produced? Does everyone who's doing well in your area have aerial photography and video? Know that stuff. Know what they want to buy. The next thing you want to know is really, how can I best get in front of couples? When we started out, we would do wedding shows. We've done the various wedding listing websites. We show up at various stylized shoots, referrals, all this stuff. But honestly, we're multi-regional, and I can tell you from our experience, there's one area in the country that certain things don't work at all in, and it works really good in another area. And I'm telling you, your area is not going to be the same as everyone else's area. So don't just, if some people are just like, this doesn't work. I would encourage you to try it for yourself in the area and actually look. But you got to know what works, and you got to start getting a handle on that. And of course, know your complementary vendors. This is huge for us. Getting to know people around us, working with people that you love, that you really appreciate, that have complementary businesses that will refer you, that when you do work with them, it creates an awesome product. But really, that's a big part of knowing your market, is knowing the people around you who you can really do awesome stuff with, and you can refer each other. Know your market. The last thing that you need to know is you got to know your competition. And I know this is not a popular word because it seems like I'm saying my other creatives are people that I'm trying to take work away from. That couldn't be farther from the truth. It's not how we operate at Stop Go Love. We really have strong ethics when it comes to supporting each other in our industry. And we really, really believe that we're better working together than against each other. That being said, the couples that we're trying to go after, we're all going after the same people. And they're making a decision. It's just basic capitalism, right? Do I like this guy or you, right? And that's really what it comes down to. And so in the people that we're trying to get, our customers, they're looking at it like we're competition. So we want to, shoot as many weddings as we possibly can. And so we got to know some stuff about the people around us. We got to know what they charge. Are you way overpriced or way underpriced? Is that an advantage or a disadvantage? Even how they present their pricing. Is it, send me this and I'll give you I'll give you a quote or something like that. Or is it right out front? But you got to know that stuff. Even what their websites look like. You got to know what your competitor's product even looks like. What are they making? By the way, competitors are people who like you're competing for the same couples, not someone who you have no interest in getting their couples. Like, I don't consider a boudoir photographer our competitors. We're a different product, right? But I got to know what their product looks like and what am I similar to, and can I compete, and are we similar quality? You know, I even like to know how much somebody's booking. I want to know how their social media account is functioning. Are they posting a lot or a little? Are people clicking and liking their images way more than mine? Like, this is not about positioning yourself as an enemy to somebody in your industry. What it's about is understanding where you stack up and understanding, like, am I even competitive? And what I'm making as a product with my wedding product, can it even survive in this marketplace, or am I just way below standards? And I really want to encourage you, be super critical with your business. Every year we're looking at other people's work and we're going, we need to do this or do that or whatever. Like, and we're a successful business. We operate very effectively. And even like in the middle of this, we're still going, we sucked at this. We need to do better at this. And a lot of that's driven by the people around us who are doing great work. And so I really want to encourage you. Obviously, in a couple's mind, they're competitors, but these people will spur you on to be really great. So I really want to encourage you. Understand the people around you, learn from them, and let it push you on to that next level. So let's just go over the 5 things one more time. You got to know your business plan. You got to know your product. You got to know your process. You got to know your market, and you got to know your competitors. And if you know all those things, you're going to have the knowledge it's going to take to make great choices with your business.